what do you say to property owners, hopefully to turn them into motivated sellers? Okay, so depending on how the lead comes in will determine the opening conversation. Okay, if someone calls you from a bandit sign, it's going to be different than you cold calling someone. Or someone calling you from a direct mail piece is going to be different from a conversation through text messaging. So the initial part of the conversation is where the icebreaker is made, so you can get to the real part of it, is the information about the property, why are they selling, condition, what's owed on the property, and then to a price, and so on. So we're going to go through each one of them. With a bandit, well, we'll go through the hard ones first. Cold calling. All right, so now just keep in mind, this person is being called out of the blue. You don't know if that person, let's say it was a male, he and his wife just got into a huge argument because he came home at 4 a.m. You don't know that he and his wife just had the best dinner of their lives and they headed home and they don't want to be disturbed, or lunch or something, they headed home. You don't know, somebody may have just gotten fired off their job, or they may have just gotten a promotion. So you don't never know when you're catching them when you reach out to them. So when you're calling saying, hi, my name is Ty, I'm calling to speak to the owner about buying their property at 123 Main Street. Do I have the right person? So again, you have to take in consideration at what point am I catching them at. All right, so they say, yeah, you have the right person. Okay, that's a good hurdle for them to even confirming that you have the right person for that particular address. All right, you'll say, great. If you have a moment, I would love to discuss in further detail about buying your house and making you a fair cash offer. Do you have a moment? I say, yeah, I got a moment. Okay, that's good. And they say, well, no, I really don't have time. I said, what would be another time to call you back? What would be a better time to call you back? Hopefully that's you just have a little nice conversation. That ain't always where you're going to go. So we're not talking about the ones just going to get you off the phone. Why you get my number? Don't ever call me again. Obviously wrong number. That conversation, there's nothing to talk about. You're just getting off the phone. So we're just going through the people that are open to talk to you and actually discuss actually purchasing the house. So that's the first part of that, because the meat part is going to be the same for everybody for the most part. All right, so that's on a straight out cold call. A direct mail piece. Now, for some reason, direct mail is probably right behind the cold calling, because you'll get some of the weirdest responses. Well, text message, you get some real stuff, but as far as actual talking to someone, some of the responses you'll get back from direct mail is just really weird. They'll just call you back. They'll call you and just let you have it because you sent them something in the mail. What a miserable human being. Throw it in the trash. When Walmart sends you something in the mail, you don't call them? Well, they might do. I may be wrong on that. What a miserable human being to do that. Just throw it in the trash. Take me off your list. I'm so tired. You don't have anything else better to do? Where did you get a picture of my house? Google maps. You ever heard of it? You're lousy. Anyway, but assuming this is the good conversation, I went into the bad conversation. When they call you, and I got a packet of postcards I didn't call. Anyway, I'll sort it tomorrow probably. And they call you and say, hey, I got this postcard from you about buying my house. What's your offer? Now that's what you're going to get more than anything. And a lot of times they're going to catch you off guard. Now, depending now, if it's coming directly to you, that's one thing. But if it's going to an answering service or a VA or whatever, or to an answer machine, that's another thing. But a lot of times that's going to be the response that you're going to get from them. You say you're going to make me a fair cash offer. What's your offer? Well, sir, what's your name? Well, you sent me the letter. You should already know my name. Like, sir, we sent out thousands of those. The only way that I'm going to be able to evaluate this property is I'm going to have just a couple of details about the property itself, starting with your name to make sure that I'm talking to the right person. Okay, so if you get past there, I say, well, my name is John Brown. Mr. Brown, how are you doing? I'm glad you called us back. What's the address of the property that you're interested in selling? Give you the address. All right, so at that point, you're good. So that first thing is you got to calm them down in the sense that even the ones that are not really angry, they're going to call with the base a lot of times they just call wanting you to give them a price and you don't know anything about the property. And sometimes when you have that conversation, you're still not going to know, but I'll get to that in a second. All right, so that's the direct mail part of it. So I'm trying to give you the objections part of it when you're dealing with someone that actually really want to talk. Now, you're going to have your a-holes, and they just calling just to poke you or whatever. So you're wasting your time and theirs also. All right, so we got the cold calling, we got the direct mail. Then, huh?
What do you say on the direct?
It just depends, but normally that kind of stuff is going to say we're going to make you a fair cash offer, normally. So, all right, so now we got your website. So you may be running Google ads, maybe even Facebook ads. Instead of filling out the form, they call the phone number. So what if the number goes directly to you? With me, they go directly to me because they're so expensive. I don't send those to an answering service because they are so expensive. When that phone rings from that number, I know what it is. That probably just cost me $50 to get that lead, right? So anyway, totally different conversation when they call you because that's better than a bandit sign call. Because they literally sit down, if it's a Google AdWords call or from YouTube roll, they literally sit down and said, sell my house fast or buy my house fast. So when they call you, we buy houses, how may I help you? Is how I answer the phone. Hi, I just saw your website. I put up your website and I'm just wondering how your process works. I said, well, great. My name is Todd Taylor. What's your name? They give me the name. I said, well, basically what we do is that first step is what you're doing right now. We collect information on the property, and if we could come to an agreement on a price, we'll buy your house as is. We're normally going to close in 2 to 4 weeks. We pay all closing costs, minus any unpaid taxes, mortgages, or liens, right? That basically answers all the questions. So I'll follow up after I said that. Could I have the address of the property you're interested in selling? And it goes from there. I'll get to the rest of it in a second. All right, so that's if it comes from your website. Now, Facebook lead is similar to a bandit sign lead. Now, a lot of times, and the only way we've been able to do it effectively is where it's basically they're submitting a form. When they tap learn more from the ad that they see, they're submitting a form, and we communicate first probably through them by text. And a lot of times they're like, they don't know what it does, what we're talking about. But the ones that are responsive, we're normally going to just confirm that, hey, we got the information you filled out on Facebook about selling your house. Is it still for sale? Even though they may have just did it 5 minutes ago. We'll say, is it still for sale? And then, yes, it's still for sale. So we'll just go into the meat and guts of it. So that's pretty simple there. All right. Then you're going to have your, and this still is somewhat like a cold call, but it seems like it's just a little different when you go out and do driving for dollars and you find a vacant house. It seems like it's a little different to me in the sense that, because I just can't do cold call where it's just pounding calls out. But if it's a driving for dollars call, and I'll do some of that, see something or whatever, I'll call them, and the conversation basically goes like this, similar to the cold call, but it's basically, hi, my name is Ty. I noticed the property at 123 Main Street. I'm calling to speak to the owner about buying that property. Am I speaking to the right person? Okay, and so it goes from there. All right, so the next thing is bandit signs. Now, bandit signs are going to be right behind Google AdWords as far as being the easiest because they saw your message and they called you, right? You're already 50% of the way there. They want to sell, you want to buy. So whenever they call you, conversations go like this. Hey, you say, hi, we buy houses when you answer the phone. How may I help you? yeah, I just saw your sign. I want to see how this works. So you're going to basically go back into what you basically said with the Google ad. Well, what's your name? Well, I'll say my name first. My name is Todd Taylor. What's your name? Right? And they say, this is John Brown. Mr. Brown, well, basically, we pay all cash, as is, closing 2 to 4 weeks. We pay all closing costs minus any unpaid taxes, mortgages, or liens. Could I have the address of the property you're interested in selling? Now, the only thing about the bandit signs, you have to be a little careful, just automatically giving your number out, right? Because, your name out and stuff, because sometimes there might be folks trying to trick you, with the fines and all that stuff, because that is a possibility. All right, so bandit signs is right behind Google AdWords as being the easiest to conversate with a seller because they're reaching out to you. They're literally wanting to sell. They're just trying to see what you're about and how your process goes, and obviously can they get the price that they want. All right, so now we have that. Am I missing something?
You said cold caller direct mail, Google Ads, Facebook leads, driving for dollars,
Okay, yeah, so the only other one with the driving for dollars, you may sometimes reach out to for sale by owners, so that's pretty much easy in the sense that they want to sell because they have a sign out in front of the yard. Hey, I'm calling about your property at 123 Main Street. I saw the sign out there. Is it still for sale? Yes, it is. You got a moment? I'd love to ask a few questions about your property, and you go from there. For rent signs, the generic red and white, black and white, orange, black and white signs that they may have bought at Walmart, Home Depot, or Lowe's, you're possibly targeting tired landlords at that point. And so, what else?
Do you have a call at 5:15?
Huh?
Do you have a call at 5:15?
Nah, it's the prop string thing.
Oh, you do. It's getting
But that's
you
the
up.
one I had.
It's at 5:30, but it's just giving you the alert that it's.
It's at 5:15.
Oh, is that 5:15? Okay.
But I need to know if he even. That's what I was asking.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll figure it out.
Here though.
You're talking about Jamarcus? Yeah, Jamarcus, we're gonna get to you. All right, so I'm rounding this up in a minute. With the for sale by owner.
Jordan's lying.
I don't really lie, it's real up in here. For rent signs, you call them. Hi, I'm calling about your property. It's for rent at 123 Main Street. Is it still available? Whether they say yes or no, you say, well, I'm not calling about renting your property. I'm actually interested in buying the property. Would you be interested in selling it? They say yes, boom. Take the information needed, be able to analyze the property. If they say no, your follow-up question would be, well, do you have any other properties you would be interested in selling? They say yes, take the information needed. If they say no, just thank them for their time, let them know. If you have any, if you change your mind, just keep a number. We would love to try to, make you a fair cash offer. So I went through the different scenarios because the hardest part of it is that initial part of the conversation. Now, what you'll do is the rest of it is you're going to get into how many bedrooms and bath is it? Is the house vacant or occupied? If you don't know that, sometimes you already know that it's vacant, but if you don't know that, how is it heated and cooled? The age of the roof. Does it have any unpaid mortgages or liens on the property? In your opinion, what's the overall condition of the property? Has there been any recent updates or renovations to the property? And more of it, you're sort of building rapport, hoping they're opening up to give you some of the reason or their true motivation for selling the property. And then you're going to hit them with them and say, even though depending on how they came, if it came to you, if they called you, you'll ask them, why are you considering selling? If it hadn't already came out through the rest of the conversation. If you called them, say, I know I called you out of the blue, but if we could possibly do a deal, why would you be interested in selling your property or whatever? Because you're just trying to, trying to build some rapport and try to get to the real reason why they want to sell, because wholesaling may not be the solution, something else may be. As far as whenever you start to negotiate. And then you'll pose the magic question, paying all cash and closing quickly, what's the least amount you'll accept for it as is? Wait on the response, regardless if they give you a price that works for you or not, you always want to follow up, is that the best you can do? Boom, so I hope this video helped. Make sure you subscribe, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at AskFlipMan, and you should see a video on the screen now that will help you with text messaging.
text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-5243. Now you know. 205-964-5243. Now you know.